down below. But let's quickly go through multimodals, because it is something that you guys will, as I said, do in year 11 at some stage, and definitely do in year 12, either in the common module or module A. I haven't ever had a student that's had to do it in module B, but at some point in year 12, you have to do a multimodal. Typically, it's a common module. Some students do it in module A. So what actually is a multimodal? Well, it basically is many modes. Okay, so different modes of presentation together. A speech and a video, combined with images and animations and a podcast, many different modes. So all of these being different modes combined together. As an assessment. So the biggest area of feedback most students receive for multimodals is that it's not captivating enough. It feels like an essay because they write it like an essay. It's not. Remember, it's a speech. And you haven't made the most of the modes available. If you're told that you can do a podcast, make it like a podcast. Make it engaging. Add sound effects. Add really engaging ideas. Like, we've had a caller that submitted a question. Really fun ideas, okay? Make the most of the mode that you're given. If it's a speech, talk how I am now. Really engaging. If you can, walk around the room. If you can have maybe a slideshow behind you that you're referring to, make the most of it. Trust me. As I said, cannot be written as an essay. It really needs to be adapted to the medium. So write it like, and I'm going to skip forward here, write it like a TED Talk. That's often the best way to do it, right? Watch a TED Talk, brush up on your TED Talk remembering, and remember how they structure it, right? TED Talks are not like an essay at all. It's always nice to have a nice beginning. It's always nice to have a engaging beginning by starting with a statistic or an anecdote, which is a personal story, right? So when I was 5 years old, this and this happened to me, something like that. A quote from someone or some type of description or almost like narrative. So she was walking down the street and someone tapped her. As she turned around, she remembered. Something like that, okay? It's engaging, it captivates you. Play with your mode is really what I'm trying to say here. Contextualize your response. So in your conclusion, say something like, so what? What does this actually mean? I've said all this to say what? Use visuals to support your arguments, as I was saying. Your analysis must be sophisticated and comprehensive, and you must consider your audience and the task requirement. Okay, ditch the essay structure, as I've been saying, okay? It should be a more summarized, less structured response, but analysis still must be there. So you still must have all of these points that we were talking about before. As I said, think like a TED Talk, think of it more discursively. And what a discursive is not an essay, not a persuasive, not creative writing. It's like a TED Talk, right? You bounce from idea to idea. Maybe it's this, but what about this? Could it also be this? That kind of thing. And so because of that, you don't set out with an answer and try to prove the answer to your reader like you do in an essay or a persuasive text, but you start with a question. And you and your audience kind of figure out the answer together. These are the best formatted multimodals. These are the multimodals that I've given the greatest, as in like the best feedback to. I haven't kind of been really sad with my feedback because they've been the best formatted responses. Okay, also another thing when you create your multimodals, make use of all resources that you have available. So Powtoon and Visme, I've never actually used Visme, but I hear it's really good for creating like animations of what you're talking about. Make the most of them, okay, if you can make a video. This is me from a uni assignment I had. Some of you who do chemistry might understand what's going on here, but don't worry about what I'm actually drawing. Nonetheless, what I'm trying to show you is how I make the most out of my modes available to me. So I basically, for this assessment, had to make a video, and I chose to literally draw on the whiteboard what I was explaining because I thought it would be the most captivating way for my markers. And it did. And that was something I got great feedback on, that they actually really liked this. So do you have to draw on a whiteboard? No. Do you have to be aware of the modes available to you and make the best out of them that you can? Yes. Okay. Think about YouTube videos. There's a lot of, what do they call it? Like stock free or something like that. The kind of free, available to use for everyone videos. make the most of those. Canva, you can make animations on Canva, which I didn't even know. Biteable. These are all different things that I would kind of look into when you do have to do your multimodal to make it as engaging and powerful as you can. Okay, that covers multimodals. So, one more thing for multimodals. I've put the slides the other way around. So, this is kind of the structure I would kind of follow in your multimodal. Okay, so as you make, for an assignment, as you plan for a multimodal, fill out this table so you know, okay, first I have to introduce my theme, my idea, or my question, talk about the analysis, or talk about the evidence, analyze it, talk about why the composer is saying this, and link it to the rubric. Okay,